Hypercarnivores, otherwise known as animals who obtain 70% or more of their nutrition from meat, a group containing species such as sockeye salmon, bald eagle, and orca. One hypercarnivore has become so successful that it occupies every continent except for Antarctica, with a population of 80 million living in the United States and Canada alone. Razor-sharp retractable claws, night vision 6 to 8 times better than a human's, and a finely tuned sense of hearing capable of picking up the faintest sound of prey. I am of course talking about Felis catus, otherwise known as the house cat. For thousands of years, the house cat has been the preferred companion of millions of people around the globe. When I was growing up, my family had 3 cats. Their names were Ben, Squirt, and Lucy, all 3 being strays that were adopted by my parents. According to the International Cat Association, there are 73 breeds of domestic cat, coming in all shapes and sizes. You've got big cats, little cats, squish cats, and hairless cats. Anyway, this is my parents' Moggy, Murphy, aka Murph, aka Murph Man, aka Bubba. When my parents adopted Murphy 4 years ago, his name was Lovey, but my parents ended up deciding to change his name for reasons I shouldn't have to explain to you. Now, amongst cat owners, there is one question which is a bit of a sensitive issue. Do you let your cat outdoors, or do you keep them inside? There are 2 main sides to this argument. The first being that cats should be allowed outdoor access in order to receive proper mental stimulation and exercise. Time spent outside reduces stress and allows cats to fulfill their natural prey drive. With the opposition being that cats are adept predators and kill thousands of native birds and mammals each year and should therefore be kept inside. If their owners do want to give them outdoor access, they should be kept on a leash or within a confined space such as a catio, an outdoor version of the McDonald's play place for cats. To those who don't know me personally, or haven't seen any of my other videos, if you take a glance at my channel, I bet you'd be able to guess which side of the debate I agree with. Murphy is predominantly an indoor cat with outdoor access via a catio built by my parents. In the past, he's been taken out on a leash, but on one of his final outings, a wheelbarrow made a weird noise near him, and now he doesn't like the leash very much. With this video, I'm hoping to provide some insight into why I believe that cats should be only let outdoors under controlled circumstances, and why you should feel the same. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Luke, why should we listen to you? What makes you so qualified to address such a divisive topic? And the truth is, I'm not. Although I have a Bachelor's of Science in Zoology, I am by no means an expert on urban ecology, which is why for this video, I've enlisted the help of someone who knows a thing or two about the impacts of domestic cats on native wildlife. Before I had even begun working on this video, I came across an article published by the CBC highlighting the work of a PhD candidate from the University of Guelph named Jonathan Chu, who is currently studying urban ecology with a focus on the impacts of domestic cats on native birds. After reading the article, I knew I had to talk to this guy, so I reached out to him, and after a couple of emails back and forth, I met up with Jonathan at my alma mater to find out more about the fascinating technology he's using to study the impacts of domestic cats on native wildlife.
Yeah, so my name is Jonathan Chu. I'm a PhD candidate at the University of Guelph in the Department of Integrated Biology, and I study cats and put cameras on them. I started off as an undergrad at the University of Toronto. I studied just general life sciences in my first year, sort of went in kind of interested in the healthcare world, becoming a doctor maybe, so everything changed when I took an ornithology course, and I was entered into the world of birds and bird watching. I've been hooked ever since. Being a bird watcher, you end up hearing a lot about different things people do that affect birds and conservation issues affecting birds. And one of them that always comes up because it's very like hot topic and controversial are cats and people who like their cats outdoors. And people who love birds always have like a visceral reaction when they learn of how many birds cats kill per year. I wanted to learn more about the issue. I recognize that there's like clearly a social conflict there and like a clash of values. And so I wanted to understand that. I also wanted to work with people and work with cool technology. And so I found this program at the University of Guelph in this lab, and Ryan Norris and Elizabeth Gao, they've been studying cats for a couple years, and they had this project where they were putting cameras on cats. And I thought it was really cool because not only do I get to study urban ecology, but I get to work with this really cool technology and still be connected to birds. And yeah, just advance my passion and knowledge around how we interact with wildlife. So that's where I am now. Yeah, so that's a big question. What everyone wants to know is what cats are doing to our wildlife. And it's been estimated that cats kill between 1 to 4 billion birds per year in the United States. And just recently, we came out with a new estimate for Canada, and it's estimated that they kill around 60 million birds in Canada every year. But the sort of bigger question, and the question that we really want to get at, is whether this level of predation actually has an impact on bird populations and whether bird populations are declining. Cats currently are the #1 cause for a direct human-related bird mortality in Canada. So there's that. Birds get a lot of attention because they're charismatic species. Cats kill like 4 to 10 times more small mammals than birds. The same estimate that found 1 to 4 billion birds per year in America. For small mammals, it's 6 to 23 billion mammals. We don't have an estimate in Canada yet, but from my research using the cameras, a majority of the prey cats consume are small mammals. One place to start, and where the research currently is getting predation rates. So figuring out how many birds or other animals are being killed per cat. In the past, the easiest way to do that with cats is to work with cat owners and ask them to respond to surveys or give you carcasses that their cat brought home to them, because as we know, cats bring home gifts for their owners, and oftentimes those gifts are small birds and rodents. Unowned cats, so cats that don't go home to an owner. We've used scat remains, we've looked at stomach contents, but those are also biased because they give a very recent window to what the cat's actually eaten. The most sort of like advanced and cutting edge way people are studying cats and their impacts on wildlife are by putting animal-borne cameras on them. So the advantage of cameras is the fact that we see everything from the world of the point of view of a cat. And so we see everything that they eat and everything that they hunt. And there we get a less biased estimate of their predation rates. It comes with all the other like complications of how to get a camera on a cat. But once the camera's on it and you get the camera back and get the data, then for that time period, you have a good sense of exactly how much the cat actually ate. And then you also have like a rigid time period that you can use to build or estimate a predation rate. This is the sort of the small arrow we have for the cat cam stuff. So usually it's stored away nicely, but I've been very lazy since I've got back from the Okanagan. So we have all the cameras in here in one bag. It's a custom built device. It was developed by a person here in Guelph, Brett Forsyth. It's a really cool piece of technology. It's basically every time the cat moves, it starts recording. And so it saves battery life that way. Well, the funny thing is it's not recording in the most high resolution. It's all black and white, like again, make the sensor as capable as possible and be able to record at night. It shoots at 3 frames per second, so it's very choppy to watch, but it's enough to see what's going on in the view of a cat. We train cat owners to use this camera. It's very simple. It's just one button. You turn it on and it's working, and then they put it on the cat. And if the cat ever gets stuck somewhere and they pull like hard enough, it comes off, and then one of my jobs, other than training cat owners to use the camera, is to go find lost cameras. Yeah, the camera sits on the cat for anytime the cat's outside, for up to 20 days, and it's recording the whole time the cat is outside. When we get that data back, we get to watch the videos and essentially live the life of a cat and watch those 20 days back. Not in real time, thankfully. We can speed it up, and you can speed up as fast as you can, your brain can process. It varies on the person. I can watch cat videos at 6 times speed now, which is kind of funny. And that allows us to see like all these cool behaviors that cats do when they're outside. So not only are we interested in like predation and like what they're eating, but like how many times do they cross roads and what does that mean for their welfare? How many times do they like get into fights with other cats? How many times do they go under vehicles? How many times they enter construction sites and things like that? So just like the whole swath of behaviors that cats do when they're outside, we get to see that through the cameras. We also put on the back of the cameras GPS collars. So these are commercially available GPS trackers, and we download that data and we get like very good information about where the cats have been. And so combined with the video footage of their behavior and their sort of geo position, we get to ask a lot of interesting questions about what cats are doing outside. What's super cool about the cameras is that not only we get to see the animals get eaten and therefore count how many animals are eaten, but we get to see if the animal was eaten in shrubby habitat or forested habitat in the daytime or in the nighttime. So these things that could have led to why that predation event happened. And so we can ask the question like, okay, this cat kills more birds and mammals than this other cat. Why is it? Is it something about the cat themselves, or is it something about the environment where they're living? So we get to start asking these sort of more like basic ecological questions of like, why does variation in predation rate exists? And that can eventually come back to sort of a more applied conservation focus, because then we can say, okay, well, it's the cats that are living near forested habitat that have lower predation rates because cats don't tend to hunt very successfully in the forest. What does that tell for the sort of conservation practices that we can put in place? So they give us incredible data. It's a lot of work, but it allows us to really dig into understanding cats and their impacts on the environment. So we studied 48 cats across like 3 summers in Ontario. So cats around the Guelph area, Cambridge, Waterloo, Kitchener. And then we also put cameras on cats in the Okanagan Valley in British Columbia. So that was one summer in 2024. I went out there. We studied around 28 cats. So in total was 74 to 76 cats. The number varies because some cats like participated, we put the camera on, it didn't fully end up in the study. What we're finding is that the rate in Ontario is about 0.02 animals per hour, which is like a very vague number. But if you were to extrapolate to, for example, to the population of cats we believe to exist in Guelph and towards the time period that we study cats, so that's like June to October, that means cats may be killing 191,000 to 310,000 animals during that time period. In the South Okanagan, the predation rate is higher, about 0.04 animals per hour per cat. So again, pretty vague, but if we do that same exercise, which we can because we know the numbers of cats in the South Okanagan, which is very, very like unique for this study, it works out to be around 160 to 290,000 animals being killed by cats. We've seen differences in the types of prey cats hunt. So in Ontario, it's like almost like 90% small mammal species. So there are, I think, total 139 predation events in the footage. 100 of them were mammal species, and only 8% were birds. And those birds that ended up getting eaten in the Ontario data set were like native species. So they're not non-natives like starlings or house sparrows, but they're thankfully like resident common species. So like robins, cardinals, song sparrows, and no species of concern, which is like a big relief to us. In the Okanagan, it's slightly different. Rodents are still the primary prey, but birds are a much higher proportion. So 25% of the prey in the Okanagan were actually birds. Couple reasons why. All the sort of like communities in the Okanagan are just like more directly adjacent to nature, like it's just more rural. There are species there that are unique, that are very vulnerable to cats that are that do not exist in Ontario. So for example, California quail, tons of quail in the Okanagan, ground dwelling bird. There's like huge numbers of their fledglings in the summertime when we study cats. And so this is all to say that like it seems that cats are like really adapted to hunting these sort of urban adapted species and the birds that live amongst urban areas. And it's been shown in other studies as well, they don't really penetrate sort of like like true green spaces, really like naturalized areas and big forests and conservation areas. The birds in those spaces aren't as high risk, which makes sense because we've seen cats avoid those areas because of coyotes and things like that. So we also, because we had all this data from the cameras and the sort of like contextual information around the predation events, as well as like, you know, we worked with the cats so we could weigh them, we knew their age, their sex, like their body condition, so like how much fat they had. We got all the cat owners to fill out personality surveys about their cats, so we have information about the cat's personalities. So putting all this information together, why do some cats kill more animals than others? Early preliminary results, it's the skinnier cats, which makes some sense because you might expect a fat cat when they're outside to be less able to catch like very agile prey like a small bird or a small mammal. That's one fun insight. It's very early and we're still working on it, but that's been really fun to sort of find out. I've just learned throughout this time that like how good cats are at their job. They are descended from like obligate predators and obligate carnivores. They're just extremely efficient hunters when they want to be. There's one clip where a cat climbs up a tree and takes 2 baby robin nestlings from the nest. It's surprising in that, like, you know, some people think cats are only hunting birds that are like on the ground or injured. They are skilled and they can hunt a lot of different animals and a lot of different life stages of those animals. I've seen, we have clips of cats hunting snakes, eastern cottontail, which is massive. And so you don't think like cats can hunt something that big, but yes, they can, because they are very strong. If you ever play with a cat, you know how strong cats are. Cats like are a great sort of representation of a problem that doesn't seem to have an easy solution. Like there's so many people involved, interested parties, different opinions. We want to be in touch with nature. Some people do that by going out and birding. Some people have pets and let their cat outside and they get to watch their cat interact with the environment, and that's their interaction with nature. Understanding what cats are doing to the environment and understanding how we can better communicate those impacts to everyone so that we can come to an understanding of where can we like agree to disagree, where can we negotiate, and where can we come to an understanding where this is the world we want to live in, this is the urban environment we want to have, this is the community we want to build. How do we navigate that? And cats, to me, represent that like very squarely. One thing to potentially focus on is that aspect, that they're focused on the welfare of their cat. And it turns out cat welfare when they're outside isn't that great. There's tons of welfare risks when cats are outside. They get hit by cars, they contract diseases from other cats that are outside, they get into other wildlife interactions where they're the prey. Cats who are outside have a lifespan about 1 to 4 years compared to cats that are indoor completely. It's on average 10 to 12 years, so it's a much shorter lifespan when cats spend some amount of time indoor, outdoor. What's funny is that the 2 sort of highest causes of human bird mortality in Canada, cats and then window collisions, both of them seem to me addressable. Window collisions for sure. The solution is out there, just treat your windows. So that's very easy. And there's like a dollar value you can associate with that, which sometimes you can't do with conservation problems. Like how do you solve habitat conversion? Well, it's not easy. Like sometimes we need to convert habitat because humans need to live too. But with cats, it's also like seemingly attainable. Like it's slow and it involves changing human behavior, but it's not like rooted in these sort of political systems and rooted in base human needs that come in clash with sustainability. These are like values and things that can shift over time. Like our relationship with our pets can shift over time. That's what I find really like sort of inspiring about cats. The fact that they represent this sort of environmental issue that a lot of people care about and can get involved in, and solving it requires collaboration. Not only have I worked with a lot of cats over the years, I've worked with a lot of cat owners. To me, we're looking at the same problem. Like a lot of people who have cats and let their cats outside, they're cats that they've adopted from shelter programs where they're trying to take a cat off the streets, which fair enough. That's like great for the environment, great for cats, and great for our urban community. People who have cats and let their cats outside, they're doing it because they believe that is good for their cat. And we must like remember that cats are, a lot of people, they view them as their family members. In a lot of cases they are. And so it's hard to tell, a person that believes that they're doing something good for their family member, keep it inside, trap it.
When it comes to a debate like this, I agree with Jonathan that it's not productive to villainize or shame people who choose to give their cats outdoor access. I'm almost certain that those same people would prefer their cats didn't hunt native wildlife. What they do want is for their pet to have a great life. So how do we enrich the lives of our indoor cats? After working in zoological facilities for over 5 years, with a large portion of my job dedicated to creating enrichment for a variety of species, I have learned that there are countless ways to enrich an animal's life. For example, novel smells and sounds can be great ways of adding some variety to your pet's life. One time we added a scoop of turmeric to the lion's indoor bedding, and they absolutely loved it. They must have rolled around in it for nearly half an hour. There's also toys and puzzle feeders, which can provide a great deal of mental stimulation. A super cheap puzzle feeder you can make for your cat is just a shoebox filled with toilet paper tubes. Simply sprinkle a handful of your cat's favorite treats or some of their supper into the box, and you're off to the races. Murphy's a big fan of this one, and he's become quite skilled at retrieving his treats. This sort of feeder is great for cats because they provide the experience of foraging for their food without the negative environmental impact. And if you don't have enough toilet paper tubes, they can easily be substituted for torn up bits of cardboard or tissue paper.
So it seems like you're coming out of this, you don't hate cats by any means. Do you own cats? Do you like them?
I love cats. I don't own cats. I've never had pets growing up. I think part of it is like my upbringing and like my cultural background of my parents not thinking pets are like supposed to be in the house, how like animals are supposed to be in the house. I think one thing people misunderstand about like ecologists or bird watchers or folks that love the outdoors is that we don't have pets. No, we love animals. Like more than 50% of my colleagues in the department have a pet in some sort or like a cat, and so I get to play with their cats for the time being. And yeah, one day I hope to have my own. But I love cats, yeah, for sure. And I'm definitely coming this from a point of like, no, cats are doing what they want to do. It's not their fault that they're great hunters. That's evolution, and that's like every animal has its role in the ecosystem. We've created a new role for cats as they've evolved alongside humans, and they will continue to evolve, and their relationship with humans will continue to change, I believe. Hopefully that change happens that benefits both them, humans, and wildlife alike.
At the end of the day, all good cat owners want to do right by their pets, but what we must acknowledge is that cats are predators by nature, and many species have not evolved alongside such capable predators. So for the sake of native wildlife and the health and safety of our feline companions, keep your cats indoors. But if you do want to give them outdoor access, keep them leashed within the confines of an enclosed area, or simply monitor their behavior. Everyone who does so receives a blessing from the Murph Man himself, equivalent to 1,000 years of good luck to you and your family. I think. I don't know. I don't speak cat.